Welcome back to the BFR Podcast presented by Sports Mockery. Dave, SM, joined by my good friend, Chicago Bears content creator Ficky, and we are going to do, our last episode until the NFL draft. So we are less than a week. We're 6 days away. This Thursday, we'll do round one live, reacting to probably all the picks for the most part, similar to last year, I think. We'll see. We're definitely going to go live for the Bears, or go live starting round or pick number one, go to the Bears, and probably a few more just in case, just to make sure they don't trade back.
Who knows? I was going to say, they might trade back, so we might have to wait a little bit longer. Yeah.
And then also to kind of go over our schedule next week, we'll actually have 2 episodes next week. So Thursday and Friday, we'll be live on the BFR YouTube channel, just like we are now. Today, we're going to do some more live mock drafts, and then we also have a few extensions we want to talk about. Kyler Gordon, of course, that happened a few days ago, and then we also had TJ Edwards, which was yesterday, I believe, or the day before. It's kind of blending together, and we're going to go through that, but mainly today is going to be more so just more mock draft live with you guys. A lot of fun. Last pod, so we did a little bit more practical. I think we only traded up one time. This time we're going to be a little bit more creative. And then we're going to go over some stuff with Ashton Jeanty as well, because he had a really, really awesome quote that kind of, I mean, if he's there at 10, it kind of speaks to the Bears as far as just like, hey, don't overthink this. Best player available, draft me. And I think it was it a letter from the Players Tribune?
Yeah, it's like they write like their own, basically, I'd say like a think piece, like, yeah. The Players Tribune is basically a media network that allows the players to get their voice and their message out to the fans, coaches, etc.
And this was really good. It was almost like a pen letter to Chicago, in my opinion. And I guess every other team inside the top 10 from the Players Tribune, where he honestly, it was really well written. Go check it out. Just search it, Players Tribune, Ashton Jeanty. We're going to go through a little bit, especially the ending. It's one of the best. I mean, mic drops before a draft I've seen in a while. So, but anyways, like always, before we get into that, Vic, today,
I'm doing.
And also, real quick, we don't know if Jack should be hopping on. We'll see. I know there's gonna be questions about him.
Yeah, there always are.
And we'll see. But Vicky, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. Like, I'm trying not to count down the days to the draft. As I say, I've probably
said now.
I know. I've been saying ad nauseum, but I think it makes it longer every time I count. I'm like, fuck, we're not there yet. Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So try not to focus on too much, but I really do love the draft. Obviously, from a fan perspective, new hope, new era, new possibilities. So there's so much excitement about that. But I also love seeing, obviously, I'm not in depth like some of these college scouts that know every single thing about the 280 top players, right? But it is fun to kind of see where some of these players go based off their stories that have been set out for them, seeing how the boards fall, and then also looking at this class, which I think is the best, 2 years down the road to see, hey, those guys that we thought were top dogs, how'd they end up turning out, right? Hopefully the one we draft or the ones we draft do. But I think that whole aspect of the NFL draft is just so exciting to me. So I'm just happy. I'm like really, really, really pumped, and I can't wait to get to it. Like, so pumped. How you doing though, Dave?
Yeah, no, this is actually where I start to count down the days, because I know a lot of people that are, mad men, mad women in regards to just the mock drafts that they pump out and the content they pump about during this time frame. And I love the draft. I do. However, I don't start counting down until we hit April, in my opinion, because we're usually about 20 something days away, depending on, where it lands. And now we're 6 days, less than a week. I'm pumped, man. I'm excited to see how this team how this roster is going to fill out and see if there's any holes left, right? Obviously there usually is, but the Bears right now, as constructed, I just like what they've done so far in the offseason. So they're going to get better. I'm excited. I can't wait I'm just as excited for round one than I am for round two, because of those, pick 39 and 41. I'm excited because you're going to, those first 3 picks, you assume here are going to be at least starters. And that's what I mean. But that's exciting too. We get 3 new starters, we should, at least, depending on who they draft and what the
they don't have to be, right? But yeah.
It just depends on what position they pick, right? If it's going cornerback, they're probably going to be CB3 or something like that, you know. But they'll probably still start over Stevenson. So in some packages, but I'm excited. I can't wait just to really just get there. I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of mocks. I've seen people like, I don't even know where that like mock 7 or 8.0. And I'm like,
there's some I know that have done like 20, bro. And I'm like, that's I get it for the content reason, but you're literally going and it's
let me ask you
so
this.
Many possibilities.
Let me ask you this, because I'm excited about our mock drafts that we do live. I like those a lot. I think they're fun, they're interactive. We're excited to hear you guys' comments as well. And I like just to kind of talk through the process, especially with you and Jack and see what we want to do. But do you get when do you get tired, or do you ever get tired of mocks?
There's a threshold of when I get tired of Bears mocks, depending on where it is, right? So like I can only see how many players we're gonna pick at 10. Especially at this point, there's probably gonna be 3 or 4 people. That's it. Like it's not gonna be anybody else, most likely, right? So there's a little bit of like, you get a little bit tired. You're like, okay, obviously it's gonna be Jeanty, Campbell, you're like, the positions. What I don't necessarily get tired of is when people, because normally the mocks go like this. People do it. They do a first round only, right? A lot of these people, and they do those over and over again. Then later, like I'd say like in March, you start to see second rounds. That's exciting because now you have 2 more players, at least for the Bears, you can pick from. When it gets to April, like right now, what you start seeing from like the big names, now they'll only do like 1 because this is intensive work. You start seeing 7-round mock drafts, right? And a couple of weeks ago, you're seeing like 5 rounds, 6 rounds. So those ones I'd never get tired of because we don't get that many of them. Plus, you're starting to see picks of players, right? You're starting to learn about players that you didn't know a lot about, right? We've heard so much about the first round talents, right? How the first round is graded, evaluated. We've heard that for a while, right? And it's not bad to still get new information. But what we don't hear a lot about are those guys in the 4th and 5th round. Right. Some of the, like right now, I listen to like Dane Brugler talking about like who are some of his gems he's looking out for. Right. I'm looking at and listening to NFL Stock Exchange for some of their late round guys. Like that's the information I'm taking in now because I know enough about Jeanty, Cam Ward, Mason Grant. You know what I mean? I've heard those. So it's more like I get tired of the first round and then I start to kind of focus on like what's after that. Yeah. Well, what about you?
I think that's really well said. It's way better than how I was going to read this because I was going to be like, yeah, I'm fucking over it. I'm done. I just can't. There's so many
today.
discussions. No, others. I think I'm not. I think the reason why I'm not done for like as far as what we do is we don't do a lot. We just did our first live mock draft last week, right? So I mean, we really waited and pushed it back as far as some of our draft content and. Like I said, I love it. I know some people live and die by it. This is their Super Bowl
for sure
period, as far as content goes. So hats off to them, but I'm kind of just over reading other people's mocks because like you said, there's only so many scenarios, especially how they only do round 1. Totally agree. But when you get to those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, that is a lot more interesting. But it is
or even back half, right? Like because the certainty
round 1,
the certainty of the first 10 picks. In any draft are normally like pretty set in stone. If we actually go back to last year's draft, right? If you look at the consensus board of where everyone was ranked for the picks 1 through 5, that they got it right. So literally we kind of knew how the order was going to be 1 through 5. And that's what it went out to be. Now 6 through 10 was different. You had one surprise in there that shakes up the whole board. Atlanta. No one had Michael Penix going that early. Some people didn't have Bo Nix going as early as he did at 12, right, to Broncos, or the Raiders taking Brock Bowers that early. So I think like even around where we're picking at, that's where the surprises start to kick in. And then there's even more on the back half of the first round. But what I get really tired of is like, we obviously know Cam Ward's 1. Most likely Travis is 2, Abdul is 3.
That's the thing about this draft though. It is even the top 10 is shaky as hell.
I'd say it's less than last year, but there are some. It's really, I would say where the Giants pick. I feel really confident that Travis will go 2, but if the Giants go a quarterback, then the whole top 10, like if they go Shador at 3, the whole top 10 starts to get a little, which everything we thought is messed up.
If you're the Bears, you're rooting for that.
100%.
That's the best outcome here.
Absolutely.
I want to give a quick shout out here to David Peters, Fick, just making a live episode. I appreciate that. David's awesome content creator on Bears Twitter. I think he has Instagram too. Check him out. But always love seeing some of the content creators hop in the stream. So
absolutely appreciate that, David.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Oh, speaking of David, he said, they didn't even think that. Too many Davids. I've been on a podcast before with the Davids. Too many.
It wasn't that funny, but yeah.
That's all right. We'll count it. David did say, though, after pick 1, I have no clue where anyone else is going to go. You know what? I mean, look, compared to last year, I would say this one is less secure at the top 5, but it's still more of like, you know who the top 5 are going to be. It's just more like what team, you know what I mean? Like is Browns going to go Abdul or Giants going to go Abdul? You know what I mean? And like they'll switch where Travis goes. So I don't know. We'll see though. It's the draft. There's going to be so much excitement here.
I agree. Speaking of excitement, I wanted to, what we have on the screen here on YouTube is Caleb Williams and I think his friend Josh Jackson.
Yeah, I believe so.
I might be wrong on that. It's one of his friends from USC days. They played together. I think the Bears signed him last year as well for a stint on the practice squad or the I don't think he made the obviously didn't make the roster, the 53-man roster. But anyways, this is Caleb Williams and Jackson. I know that's his last name. Sitting courtside at the Bulls elimination game, play-in game against the Heat. We all know how that went. We'll get to that, I guess, in a second. But I was on like a mini vacation, so I didn't even get to tweet about this or anything because I missed it. But as you can see, this thing went viral, like over 11,000 likes on Twitter, more on other platforms. But I just wanted to show this clip of him launching a football. First of all, I think he signs it here. He signs it and launches it at this Bulls. What do you say? Yeah, it was pistol. It went far. So I was going to shot. I guess I can turn the volume off here. We don't need to hear that. Are we? Said launch it.
Like dart. That was about the only thing
I think
went
that
right
hit.
That night.
I know. I think that hit. Is that the second floor?
Yeah, probably
where
level
it landed
200. There? Yeah, level 200 probably. That's a dart.
You see it here. It was a dart, man. I loved it. But yeah, that is the only thing that went right that night when it came to the Bulls.
Bro, I think I was talking to my friend while the game was on. I was FaceTiming him, and it was he was telling me it was 71 at half. Like you guys were down like 71 to 29 or something, or 40 something, like 71 to 47 at half. Now they brought it back. They got down to like 14, I think, within the fourth. But bro, come on, in your home court elimination game,
the Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat because he was traded, bro.
Yeah, Tyler Hero went off. He had like 23 points in the first quarter. So that's the.
This isn't a Bulls podcast, but because you're a Knicks fan, and I will say this: you guys are better than us, but I still don't think you're winning chip.
Probably.
But I said this on the Professionally Profane podcast, which you guys should check out their latest episode on YouTube with our guy Phil and David, who's the co-host as well. Really fun episode that Jack made that one. He ain't making this one, of course. I hope you're watching this, Jack. Man, anyways, I said it. I wanted the Bulls to lose this game because we're not doing shit with this core. Like, right. It's fun. Like, I don't even know if it's fun for me. Like, we've seen these runs before, but now we at least have, I think, a 1.7% chance or even 2% chance to land Cooper Flag with that number 1 overall pick. So Derrick Rose, if you remember when we landed him, it was such low odds. I think it was 1.7 as well. So we had the same odds back then.
But that's that NBA same city rigged stuff.
Bro.
That's like Patrick. Like Knicks never got the number 1 overall until Patrick Ewing, New York boy. Of course, he lands in New York. Then you have LeBron. Cleveland gets him, of course. And then you had D Rose. Chicago gets him. So look, there's definitely some riggedness going on in there. But it can happen. Look, you guys could jump up. At least you guys got to get above. I think what you guys have had pick 8 for like the past 3 or 4 years in a row. Like you gotta get up there. So I think that's the right move. What I'm scared of with the Bulls, if you look at the Wizards the past 5 years, right? They've been in that same realm. I know this sounds weird to think about it. The same realm of the Bulls where they slightly make the play-in, right? Or the playoffs, and they fight for it, and then they just make it again the following year, but they stay around that 30 to 45 win games, 30 to 45 wins a season. That's not pushing the needle. What they ended up doing with their new GM that came in, he's basically like, look, no, we're tearing this. Kind of what Poles did when he came in. Like, look, we're not going to be at that mediocrity level anymore. We got to tear this apart and understand that we're in a true rebuild. And then you can get to where you need to, especially in the NBA, because you only have to hit on one player and your team can change drastically. So for Bulls fans, I'm hoping, probably not, you still have AK at the helm. I'm hoping they get out of this fight for the playoff mode and fucking start losing. Like, it's bad.
I was so in on AK too for the first year or so, but I was so wrong on him. He's just been brutal because, like you said, they're the only people that realize they should not. They're the only people that realize they're not in a rebuild. You know, they're playing to be like the mediocrity level. So for me, I hope if you get Cooper Flag, that jump starts everything. If you don't get the number 1 pick, it's a crapshoot. And
well, look at the Pistons. The Pistons are in the playoff this year. Had a really great year because guess who they got 2 years ago? Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
So it's NBA. You only need one player to really change the trajectory.
And with NBA, I think it's changed a little bit because I follow it, not like the NFL, but I do like obviously NBA basketball. But I think it's changed where with the salary cap, like you don't need 3 stars now to win a championship. You kind of can't because of the salary, right? That's what I'm saying. So it makes it even better where you only need 2 because 3 was hard, bro. Because like you got to get us 3 superstars to come. It's more about like we had the money back then, or teams had the money. You just didn't. You had to lure them, right? He obviously became a trio. The Bulls weren't on that. That didn't happen. KD and the Warriors, but now it's like you get 2 stars. Role players at Boston, right? They have Tatum and Brown, but everyone else is kind of actually might have a few more than 2, depending on how you.
But I mean, like if you're talking like superstar max deals, you can only afford 2, or you go over the limit.
Yeah,
there's 2 tax.
Building the roster is different. So.
And plus, you only have 5 guys, and you only have 5 guys on the court. Compared to football, you have 11 guys right on at once. So one person.
And in the playoffs, it shortens to 7, 8 player rotation typically.
So there you go. Exactly.
Anyways, Cooper Flag, a Bull. I'm hoping that happens so much. I mean, I was looking at a tweet here for the last time I think it was the Chicago Bulls won a playoff game. It was 10 years ago against the Cavs. Was it the Cavs?
Yeah, it was against LeBron.
Winner.
Yeah, it was D-Rose game winner, bro. That was 2000.
Bro, and we got rigged that
2000
series. We got the ref, David Black, called timeout, if I remember. Anyways, big Bulls fan. I'm excited. Like I said, the best thing that happened, though, was Caleb Williams sitting courtside. And from there, it went downhill. And I wish – I missed that game. I was like, I'm not watching it. I wanted them to lose, which I got some flack on the professional pro fan. He was like, no, this team, this is different.
I know there's a part of they're playing well. I know we're going deep into Bulls talk here, but there's a part where they were like, there's a part of seeing your team that has sucked for so long, right? Think of the Bears. Tie back to Bears. When the Bears went on like that 7-game winning or whatever, like they were playing games close, you want to win. Or if you go to the Packers, right? We lose that game, the Packers game, we'll be picked 5 through 7 or something like that. But there is something important about like your team, catching momentum and getting something right. So I understand that from a short-term perspective, but from a long-term perspective, that play doesn't make sense.
How I see it, which, my GM goggles here, win a game and you play the AC, probably get bounced as the AC.
Immediately.
Probably get bounced in round 1.
Oh, no, you're playing the Cavs.
Or lose and you have a chance at Cooper Flag. It's super simple to me. So that's our Bulls talk. We'll get in the next time because Ficky's a Knicks fan, which
we'll see.
Shout out to them.
My anxiety's already so high. We'll see though.
I'm excited for you, dude. I'm excited. Playoff basketball's fun, dude. I miss it.
It is fun. It is fun.
Okay. I want to start with Ashton Jeanty. Am I saying that right? I got to be saying that right, Jeanty.
Yeah, you've been saying right.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashton.
For some reason, every time I say his name, and maybe hit in the comments if you feel this way, I'm saying it wrong. Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. It just feels like I'm saying it wrong. He delivered, like I said, a really, really awesome letter from the Players Tribune that was to every team, but it did feel like it was really, really targeted to the top 10 because I think a lot of draft analysts, Dane Bugler, Mel Kiper, a lot of people are saying that the floor, right? Or is it the ceiling? The ceiling for
like
Jeanty,
the latest he'll go is 10 is basically what you're saying.
Is that the floor? I think it would be floor. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that the
latest,
floor.
Yeah, the latest he'll go, we'll put it in those words, try not to overcomplicate this, is 10, which is where the Bears sit. So, and that has moved quite a bit because he used to be getting mocked to the Cowboys.
12.
Remember that?
Earlier on, but he talk about
moving up a couple picks is crazy.
but seeing his movement, like I didn't expect to see such a drop from Shedeur and such a rise from Jeanty. Like Genty's good, but I saw some mocks that had
position.
Yeah, right. You think quarterback, of course, you're going to stay up there with like 1-2, right? You think that's how that'd go. But I saw some mocks this week from some like big guys that even had New England taking Jeanty. So now we see like him, really he was viewed as like a top 15 pick. And now 6 days out, there's people putting him in the top 5. You know what I mean? So that's the part that's fun about the draft, but also scary as a Bears fan, because we're sitting here like, man, a month ago, we felt very confident we could get him. And now I'm like, not so sure.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I would love to, as far as what we went to witness last year with Rome Odunze slipping. I've said it before. It would be really similar as far as Jeanty being there and then the Bears actually pulling the trigger and taking him. So I want to get to this letter again, written to every team in the NFL, but the way he ended it, it just feels like in the top 10, whatever team there is probably likely going to take him. And this is just hopefully, I guess, swaying one of those teams in the top 10. But again, beautifully written, really good. So I'm going to start here. He said, I truly believe I was born to do this. I truly believe what makes me different. It isn't about the position I line up at. It's about the mindset I bring to it. Those 11 dudes on defense, they're on a football field playing football. Me, in my mind, I'm still in the backyard with my friends playing. No one can touch me. I've taken the long way. I'm done with that way. If you pick me, it's simple. I'm coming to your franchise to do what Saquon and the Eagles just did. I'm coming to win big soon. It's tackle football. You know what I'm saying? I draft the guy that can't tackle. Thank you for your time, Ashton Jeanty. And I just think that paragraph right there, first of all, it's almost like goosebumps. It really true. I just love that mentality. And I think, like I said, what are you saying?
The last line. It's the part that got me was it's tackle football. So I would draft the guy they can't tackle. Like that, like you said, mic drop earlier. Boom, that's it right there. Like, I mean, and look, what we're starting to see now, Dave, in the NFL due to a lot of high two safety looks, right? Because it was a pass dominant league, which it still is, right? And so we started to see a lot of high safety cover 2 defenses being played more to stop the deep ball. Because at one point, like I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, we were starting to see a lot of deep balls like crazy, a lot of big plays, more than what we normally have, right? That's like when Patrick Mahomes was really breaking out, hitting his peak. And other greats, Allen and Lamar and all that. So because of that, we have less people in the box. And so what we're starting to see now are more teams actually running the ball effectively more because defenses have been more focused on defending deep. And so that means less people to worry about the running back. And just from a number standpoint, the defense is already at a disadvantage for the running back. So I think it'll be interesting to see, like with Jeanty this year, we saw what Saquon did last year. And with how good this running back draft class is, they've talked about it, the depth at it. If this class starts to produce like right away, which we're starting to see more and more with these running backs drafted over the past 3 years, all we start to see a shift in the narrative. And we know Ben Johnson loves to run the ball. So like there's some guys, some big play callers in the NFL that are actually putting a lot of focus on run first and then building pass afterwards. So
yeah, well, you're right. The running back position is just kind of, it's had a huge makeover like in the last 5 years. Because I remember you don't pay a running back. Even when we signed Swift, there wasn't as much pushback, but there certainly was a percentage, not of just Bears fans, but fans around the league, media. They're like, why are you paying? First move you make is this, paying big money to a guy that was shipped off from Detroit and they drafted somebody else, which Ben Johnson was part of that, change up in Detroit with running backs. So for me, it's had a huge makeover. Jeanty obviously is going to benefit from this if he produces at the next level. I know you said that last line was what got you, which it got me as well. I wanted to kind of focus on what really got me. Like, I love that last line. It was great, iconic. But honestly, that one was so good, right? Well written, and it gives you the goosebumps, and you love it. But the one before that, where he's like, "I'm coming to your franchise to do what Saquon and the Eagles just did."
It's a bar.
That is just, you love that mentality. I love it. if you're on the fence, any Bears fans are on the fence, Ashton Jeanty, you're like, I can see it. I also would love to go maybe left tackle or something along those lines, the trenches, edge. This right here, it's like, if they do end up drafting him next Thursday, this right here has to get you hyped up because that's the guy you're getting, a winner, a guy that is going to produce. And like I said, he's super talented. I'm not doing it, but he's been compared to LT, right? That's some high expectations. I get that. But when you have a guy that's getting compared to LT, you probably want to take that guy if he's there, if you don't have any other needs that are in high demand. And Chicago, we've talked about it, has done a really good job at least filling a lot of the needs that they had through trades and free agency. So I can't wait. I think he's going to be such a fun player if he lands in Chicago. Also,
of course,
to be honest, if he's in Chicago with this market, man, and the Bears are good, which they expect to be good even without Jeanty, they expect to compete next year. But if they're really, really good, and you have this guy as your featured back with Swift, if you keep him, I just think it's an offense that is, and I think you've tweeted on the BFR Twitter some of the potential lineups for the Bears offense that included Ashton Jeanty. And I'm like, it's exciting. And I love the mentality. This is a week before the draft. And this guy's like, hey, I'm coming to win a Super Bowl. I'm trying to do what Saquon did. I'm going to do what Saquon did. I just love the mentality. You don't see that from, I just don't feel like you see that a lot from draft picks, No.
Well, you have to be a top dog to really come out here and say a statement,
have that
like
confidence.
That, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
I do want to bring this comment up here. Said Ficky Dave, come on. We've been through weeks of pre-draft analysis, which we have. We actually started the show talking about that. Talk to us. What do you see is happening? Bear down, boys. I will say we did do a mock last week. Bears fan for life. I think this might be our first time seeing on here. Appreciate you being in the chat. Go check out that one. We talked about who we take at 10 based off how the board is falling. We're also about to do mock drafts on the back half of this show. And so you'll see kind of what Dave and I think we're going to pick. So stay tuned. And you'll kind of see what we feel. Because, again, it's not what it's a lot of prediction because it's not like who we want. It's about like what the teams in front are going to do because that determines what the Bears do. Again, we're pick 10. So a lot of things can happen.
I agree, Fick. So I can't wait. And Jeanty, like I said, I just thought it was worth bringing up, as far as that letter. I highly, like I said, read it. If he gets drafted the Bears, maybe read it again because it is really good. It really shows the player any franchise is getting in this year's draft. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Definitely.
And like I said, we are doing our mocks here a little bit later. We've already, like I said, last week we talked a lot. You could tell who. I would say it's very similar. We have about 4 positions, 4 players that we would be okay with staying at 10. So, anyways, any other thoughts here on Jeanty? Because we've talked about him a lot.
No, but before we go to the extensions, because I do want to talk about those. Do you mind if we do the read right now?
Real quick, one last thing before we get to the read. We are 3 subscribers away from 8,000 subs.
Oh, come on.
So if you can, before Ficky, we go through what this ad or our ad read here with our Patreon. If you're watching this, which is over, there's a lot of people watching this, both on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook. Hit that like button first and subscribe if you haven't. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to 8,000 subs. We have a huge giveaway that is coming this Monday in draft week that you don't want to miss out. One of the key factors to be in this giveaway is just to subscribe. Of course, you can check out the BFR_pod Twitter, the BFR Twitter as well. That's where all the rules, everything's going to be in there. But it's a huge giveaway. Lots of money into this that we are excited to kind of give to you guys. So if you can, hit that subscribe button. Ficky, I'll leave it to you before we kind of move into a couple more stories and, of course, the extensions and then our mock drafts.
Appreciate it. First off, I got a shout out to Ryan who said, got you, boys. So I'm hoping you subscribe. Thank you, Ryan. Really do appreciate it. We're excited to hit 8K before the draft. I mean, to think when me and Dave first started this 2 years ago, has it been 2 years? Maybe about to be 2 years exactly. I think
we're episode 142. So 2 years.
Right. Crazy. So to think in 2 years, we've already, with your guys' help, have grown this show from 0 to 8,000 is fantastic. We would not be here without y'all because, again, this is the BFR Podcast, and this is the #1 show for the fans, by the fans, because Dave, Jack, and I are fans just like y'all. We get just as excited for these games, for the draft, the ups and downs. We've been through it all. We've been fans for life. So, again, we thank you so much because this show is run by y'all, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you for joining the BFR Podcast. Again, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Now, this is your first time. Maybe it is for yours, Ryan, or this is your first time subscribing. Thank you so much. Please give a hashtag New Face Gang in the chat. We do this every show. So if this is your first time, just give a hashtag New Face Gang in the chat. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if you're an OG, like a bunch of you in the chat, I already see are, please give a hashtag OG. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show, like we always do. Because again, I got to say it. I'm going to keep saying it's the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. So we're going to put you guys on the map, and we're going to show love to y'all because we really do appreciate y'all. Like Dave said, if you can like and subscribe, it's free. It helps us, helps the algorithm, just helps grow the show so we can find more awesome, dope Bears fan like y'all. So really do appreciate that. You don't have to do it now. You can do it after the stream's over, whatever you want, before you shut your computer, phone, whatever it is. Just go ahead and make sure you give this a like and subscribe. Really do appreciate that. And like Dave said, we have a biggest giveaway we've ever had in history of this show. Going to be dropping Monday, and one of the requirements is going to be to subscribe for the show. So you might as well just get ahead of that because it's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. Okay, now, if you want to support us fiscally, or if you just want to flex in front of your fans and look dope as hell, you can do so by going to our store. We have dropped new merch. We have our classic line here with, our regular logo, but we actually dropped new merch this week. And I totally forgot to updating that for the draft show. Dave, try to remind me because my goldfish brain is probably going to forget again. But we did drop a new line of hoodies, which are fire, a hoodie and a shirt. And now we have mugs. I know a lot of us are coffee drinkers. I know Dave and I are. And some new Bear stickers for our new logo, updated logo for the new era here that we're kicking off. So if you want to support us and have some fire-ass merch and gear, just go to the BFRstore.com. Again, the BFRstore.com. Now, David mentioned it. If you want to join our ongoing community, we do have a Patreon called the BFR Den, where we have monthly exclusives, where we have giveaways, which we'll have one coming up here, private Zoom call, which we did with our Hall of Fame Patreon members last Saturday, mailbag episodes, and much more content. I'm going to be updating some free wallpapers in there. We have a document of Bears history, like a cool PDF guide that we created, a bunch of free stuff in there, which is fantastic. And we have 2 tiers. We have our rookie Grizzly tier, which is $3, less than a cup of coffee for sure in today's economy. And then a $10 Hall of Fame tier. And with the Hall of Fame tier, you get the private Zoom call and with Dave, Jack, and I every month. And it's like 30 minutes. We talk about Bears, talk about life, anything in between. Always fun. We have a hell of a time with that. And then if you join our rookie tier, you get everything but the Zoom call. So you still get the monthly giveaways. We give away free merch. You still get the mailbag episodes, much more. And as Michael Berry said here, he is a Hall of Fame member. He said the Zoom chats are epic. They are fun. We love them. So, and plus, if you join, you'll get flexed a little bit. We'll flex you off here with shout out names here. So our Hall of Fame Patreon members, Michael, as we just mentioned, Michael Berry Sr., who just made the comment there. We have Michael from across the pond. We have Gage and Phil, which we were just on Phil's podcast. Check it out, Professionally Profane Podcast. And then got to give a shout out to our rookie Grizzly members, who is Alex, who's probably lifting as we speak, Brian, Chris, Jason, and Ashton. So shout out to y'all. So again, if you want to get some fire merch, BFRstore.com. If you want to join the Patreon, you can go to the BFR Den on Patreon. All the proceeds from the show, all the proceeds from those just go back into the show so we can keep building value, work on getting a in-person meetup, all the great stuff to make the show grow, and keep delivering value to y'all. So one final thing, leave your hashtags in the comments so we can go ahead and give you a shout out before the end of the show. Make sure you like and subscribe and have a great time. Appreciate it.
Love it. We have a super chat from our guy Tito. He goes, "My dudes, I don't think Las Vegas is taking a running back. The owner said he doesn't think taking a running back in the first round is worth it, but I'm cool with Hampton at 10. I agree. However, Tito, first of all, thank you for the $5. I just think with this day and age, we see it every year, smoke screens. This is the time. Las Vegas could very well say that this week, and next week they're going to take Jeanty. It is what they do. I hope you're right. I think Jeanty would be so much fun in Chicago. I'm excited to see how this draft unfolds. And like I said, I thought it was a beautiful letter from the Tribune that Jeanty wrote. You guys read it. And like I said, I hope that's the player I want. And I hope somehow that the Bears at least have a chance to make that selection. So thank you again, Tito, for $5 though. And again, subscribe. I think we're almost there. We're one away. So
let's do it.
Yeah, we do need a live track. We're about one away. So you can. We're going to be here for another 30 minutes, so we appreciate it. Moving on, though. Again.
Oh, wait a second. One more thing before
Tito, moving on to the next.
One more thing. I did see this because I know you're a big WWE fan, but it said Michael Berry would definitely have to talk about WrestleMania on the next one. Because isn't WrestleMania tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. No, my son loves it, man. It's tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, is it 2 days? Oh, I know it's a 2-day event.
2-day event now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
no, I believe you. I believe you. I just didn't know that. Oh,
and Pat McAfee actually.
They went live.
He revealed
today, right?
the stage for it. It's incredible, dude. It's wild. It's insane. Like I said, I used to love when I was younger, and then now my son loves it, so it kind of brought me back into it.
Why not? We love some entertainment, especially during this dull time of the.
It's fun to see his reaction, dude. Yeah, I like watching baseball. I got the NBA playoffs. Life is good. So
yeah, things are good.
Okay, another extension here. This one is going to be from Kyler Gordon. I want to go ahead and get the numbers. I had it here. Kyler Gordon, his extension was it was pretty expensive. Number one pick. The deal made Gordon the highest paid slot corner in the NFL. The deal was 3 years, $40 million with $31.2 million guaranteed. Again, makes him the highest NFL paid slot corner and ties him to Chicago through the 2028 season.
Good.
Before we get into this, because my biggest takeaway is on this is actually about what Dennis Allen said the next day with the extension. I want to get to that, and I have the clip here. Actually, it's a 50-second clip from Dennis Allen that really shows what his plans are for Gordon outside of just playing nickel. So hold that for a second. Initial reactions, Ficky, when you saw this deal from Adam Schefter regarding Kyler Gordon. Go.
Love it. Fantastic. You're getting one of your homegrown players locked in. I think I mentioned this when we were on the guest pod earlier this week, but this is the first extension. Well, first off, this is Ryan Poles' first draft pick ever. He took Kyler Gordon with the first second-round pick, and the second one he did Jaquan Brisker. So you love to see, in essence, this is like his first-round pick, right? You love to see that his first pick was actually paid out. And it's not just like, oh, from a Bears bias perspective. We're like, oh, we love Kyler, the Spider-Man, all that stuff. No, he was the second highest PFF grade on the Bears defense in 2024, right? Reading his production, 75 tackles last year. He had 5 interceptions total in his career on the Bears, 17 PBUs total, and 9 tackles for loss. That's pretty decent for a slot corner. And what we're seeing now in the modern day NFL, I talked about a lot of these cover 2 dime packages, right? Slot corner is very important in today's game because you're seeing a lot of teams run 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. We're seeing more and more of that, and even some more spread that we're seeing. So you need those nickels and dime coverage players out there. And we see what he was even able to do from a versatility standpoint, being a blitz packages, things of that nature. Shit, I mean, some of the Bears' biggest hits last year were from Kyler Gordon. So you love to see that, and that's kind of like leading on to what Dennis Allen's going to talk about. But yes, he's the highest paid slot cornerback, but when you look at the cornerbacks, like in general, he's only 20th. So yes, highest paid slot, but he's been the top 3 slot cornerback since he's been in the league. So I'm not mad about him getting top dollar from that role when he is the top dog in that role. So again, I love that Poles acknowledges the talent, pays them. And this might be his biggest payday. He's not like from a total number standpoint, but per how much he's given for position. This is probably his biggest payday. And I'm actually not upset about that because he's been a little bit on the conservative end for people like Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet. You know, Montez Sweat got a pretty big one, but still wasn't like breaking the bank. But so all of that to say, I'm very excited about it. Is what was expected, and he got it done, and now we don't have to worry about it. But what was your initial thoughts? Anything you didn't like about it?
No, I mean, I wanted it sooner, and I think there was a corner. There's been a couple deals this offseason with corners, and I think one slot corner in particular that I think made the market go up. So how it works with these guys, in my opinion, is they see another player that plays their position, they get an extension, give me $1 million more, right? They want to be the highest, especially the best of the best. You saw I think Jalen Johnson wanted top money. Of course, his injury history is a little bit rockier than Kyler Gordon, in my opinion. And also he plays outside corner, so he got more. But at the end of the day, Jalen Johnson's deal, I think he's currently outside the top 10 as far as being paid among corners in the NFL, which is such a good deal. Initially, when I saw this with Kyler, I love it. One of my favorite players. He's amazing. He's exactly the type of player you want to pay. A homegrown talent. We talked about that on Bill's pod, the Professionally Profane, a little bit. I had an article here on SM that I wrote that day that gave 4 takeaways from that extension. And so I wanted to really go ahead and highlight these before we get to Dennis Allen, if you don't mind, Fick. They're quick. Me, number 1, money well spent. He's 25 years old. Of course, it makes him the highest paid nickel. And we're going to get to Dennis Allen's comments, but he's not just going to be playing nickel in this defense. So I just love it. Really good business, in my opinion, from Ryan Poles. Again, I think that's something he's masterful at as far as getting deals done. Obviously, Joe Thuney you would think would be next here, but I think he just does a really good job as far as this negotiating with the Bears.
What he's been doing is, I think when it comes to contract standpoint, why I think they've been so favorable is because the top number typically isn't as much because he's giving more guaranteed, but I think he's doing front load guaranteed, which is typically what players want, right? It may not be best from the salary cap standpoint, but he's done a pretty good job with that.
He's doing that now because of Caleb, because he can. They're not, and it's just a different type of era.
No, but that's smart.
If they keep, of course, 3 years down the road, you would hope when Caleb gets paid and the Bears are really good,
it's gonna be hard to do.
These contracts are gonna look a little bit different. They're gonna be still gonna be. Yeah, some will be. You're just going to have to manipulate the cap, and that's what really good teams are. That's what good teams do, right? They do it. They manipulate it. It's supposed to be a myth. That's what you hear from the good teams. The cap is a myth. Look at the 49ers when they were paying some high profile guys. Anyways, number 2, with this one of my favorite. This could have been easily number 1. Other players are going to take notice. You paid Cole Kmet. You paid Jalen Johnson. Now you got Kyler Gordon. These guys are homegrown, of course, not picks from Poles. Obviously, Pace was Kmet, Pace was Johnson, but it's homegrown talent that is playing well, and it sends a strong message to the locker room. Other guys that you draft here in the next week or so, hey, Chicago pays. You play well for this city, you're available, you perform, you get paid. It's simple as that. I just like the message. 2, this was with Jalen Johnson. I think they locked up a really good duo. Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. If you didn't know this, they're both under 25. Now, Jalen, I think turns 25 in about a month. Or actually, I think he turns 25 yet. He's 25 now. He turns 26 in about a month.
Still, he's so young.
Actually, I think the end of the month. He is young. That's what it's a solid foundation with these corners. I just like that move. Number 4, it was a fan favorite. I think Chicago has just been really lucky this offseason as far as just getting everything they want. I may have said this on the other pod that we were just on with Phil and Professionally Profane, because they did ask about the extension a little bit. But I think just you landed Ben Johnson, the number 1 head coaching target that everyone wanted. Your offensive line was revamped. You even got the defensive line that got a little juiced up as well. Right. Now you got the draft where, is Jeanty going to fall to us? Are we going to get this lucky continuously? Kyler Gordon was one of the extensions that we wanted done a month ago? Or let's get this done, because when Jalen's deal was done, we're like, okay, hey, Kyler Gordon. And we get that as well. So I think we're getting a little spoiled here, which we should. We deserve it. It's been a hell of a last few years as far as the regular season goes. So to win the offseason 3 years in a row, I know it's a joke, but it does feel good. So that was my thoughts. Sure. That was my thoughts with Gordon when I first saw it. And again, you can check out the article on SM. But like I said, Dennis Allen, he did a really good job as well of breaking down. What were you saying, Fick?
No, I said it's just a good move overall. There's really
love it.
Yeah, there's no complaints at all.
Let me go ahead. You want to switch over? And I'll share my screen here for this one. But again, Dennis Allen, he spoke about Gordon in his most recent press conference, which was last week. He was ecstatic about the young cornerback, Kyler Gordon. This is where it got interesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this, and then we'll go ahead and kind of talk about it. So.
Yeah. Well, he's played more outside corner, so obviously that would be the comfort level.
Dave, you might want to turn it up just a little bit.
And the way that he fits in the run game
run that back and turn it up just a little bit. No,
I don't think I can. It's just the Bears audio. It's all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it kind of not loud?
It's not the loudest, but we'll be dead silent. Play it again. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. We'll mute ourselves. I'll start it over. Sorry for the quality on here, but.
Yeah. Well, he's played more outside corner, so obviously that would be the comfort level. But some of the things that I see him do and the way that he fits in the run game tells me that he could be a fit, with safety also. So, and look, we've had guys that have had the flexibility to play a lot of different positions I think that's important in today's football where you're not just locked into one thing, being able to be multiple and do a lot of different things. And so that's something that I think he can do. And as we get to know him better, spend more time with him, start to get out on the field with him a little bit more, we'll have a better feel for, where that second position might be and where we want to try to work him.
Sorry for the audio. It's about as loud as I can get it. So
yeah, that's not your fault. Not your fault. But I do want to bring this up. Michael Berry had this question earlier, right? And it's perfect transition. What do y'all think about the rumors Gordon could get moved to safety? Let me start this off if you don't mind. Let me get us back to the normal there. Okay. So if you go all the way back, I kind of did like this little 5-minute breakdown of Dennis Allen's defense and what he likes to do. Dennis Allen loves to use like a third hybrid safety, right? We talked about it. I didn't think he had Kyler Gordon in mind for that, though. I was thinking like running a 3 safety package, or maybe it's like Jonathan Owens or something of that type, right? Moving Kyler to some safety packages, kind of not mad about it. Question is where is he going to play? I think he's versatile to play anywhere. He is a little bit smaller frame. Height, he's decent, but he is a little bit smaller. So I wonder, like, is it more that third safety pulled down in the box? Or maybe Brisker comes down, plays more of that hybrid down in the box, which would make a lot of sense because that's where Brisker makes a lot of noise. And then it's Kyler playing a little bit back. But I love that they're thinking about it, right? He said safety or somewhere else. I think it's good because we talked about it last year. We're like, Kyler Gordon, every time we see flashes of him during the game, he needs to be utilized more, we felt like, right? I honestly don't think he should be out of the game. I think he should be on the field at all times. So I'm hoping they kind of think, maybe not every single play, but like he should be 80% of the snap share, more than what he was in the Flu's defense, even though he was out there a lot. I'd have to pull the numbers. But basically, I'm just saying I'm excited about the versatility and the possibility of him moving in different places. We have not seen him before because he's that good of a talent, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I see Kyler Gordon as a weapon. I think Flus did as well for the most part, but I'm excited to see what Dennis Allen did. He did this with New Orleans Saints. When he was with the Saints, Gardner Johnson was listed as a safety, but he also played the slot in New Orleans. So he almost did the opposite, but he moved him around because he's athletic, similar to Gordon, in my opinion. And this is very interesting because once that move was made, once they started moving around, the Saints ranked 13th, 4th, and 7th in total defense when Gardner Johnson was being moved around during that period. And that's from Eric on SM as well. He had that really good nugget as far as the research goes. So Gordon, who's built the same way or very similar, it'll be fun to see what he can do or where he's moved around. Because like you said, get him more reps, right? Get him more reps, get your money's worth. I just thought it was very interesting that he dropped that exact verbiage as far as when the extension was talked about. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Also, just creative defense. We talk about the creativity on offense, right?
Yeah.
Having him in different positions, I think it's going to be harder to decipher from a quarterback standpoint what they possibly may be running in these scenarios, right? It's just another wrinkle in the defense that's going to make it more complex. And I think even though Flus did run a good defense, like when he was calling the play, so I'm not discrediting him. That's literally the only reason probably he still had his job was because he could run a defense. But I am excited about Dennis Allen because we talked about in the offseason. Ben Johnson's obviously the number one exciting hire, right? But number 2 is easily Dennis Allen because he has a track record as well when he's a defensive coordinator of having top 12 defenses consistently year after year, particularly when he was with the Saints. So that's why he got a head coaching job, because of how good his defense was there.
Exactly. I just thought I'm excited. The season can't come in soon enough. So Kyler Gordon, sure. Next one will be brief because I want to get some mock drafts in these final 10 minutes or so of the show. But TJ Edwards, he signed an extension as well. Let me go ahead and get the numbers. I had it pulled up and
2 years, 20, right? 2 years for 20
million. It wasn't much. It was a good little deal here. It was the Bears. Yeah, another key piece of the defense from Ian Rappaport. They locked up 2 years. TJ Edwards for 2 years, $20 million extension with $16.6 million guaranteed. Tackling machine. I love it. I think he's a very great value for a very underrated player. That was my first thoughts. I think that's what I tweeted as well. I like TJ Edwards. I think he's better than Tremaine Edmonds, in my opinion. better deal. I know he was signed at the same time as Edmonds when Poles made those moves for linebackers. I think it was his first free agent signing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, I
so
think
for
his
me,
first was the guy who ended up not coming because of the leg, Larry Ogunjobi. But that was the same year. They got TJ Edwards.
We got lucky because his career has not been the best since then. So, but me, like I said, Gordon, if I had to put out of 10, I think it was a 9 out of 10 for me, almost 10 out of 10 in my opinion. But 9 out of 10, if you would have saved a couple million, it would have been a 10 just because, money is money. The cap is still the cap. You want to pay your guys, but it would have been nice to get a little bit more of a deal. But he's number one for a reason. I like it. So 9 out of 10. Not Edwards. Yeah, Edwards. TJ Edwards for me. Again, home. What a cool story for him. He gets to play in Chicago where he grew up. He's a Bears fan. I mean, so I like it. I would say 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. I'm going to say 8 for one reason. So if you look at his performance, right? First off, one of the biggest things you hear all the time, the best ability is availability. He started all 34 games since he's been with the Bears. He's literally never been out. And he's been on the team that's 2 years. So that's great to see. Team captain, right? That's also great to see. So not only are you getting production, you're getting leadership, which is important for this young roster, which we've talked about, right? They didn't have much accountability the last couple of years. So it's good to see that, you're keeping some of those big voices in the locker room. And then money. I think this is what's most important, right? Right now, 2 years, 20 million, 16 million guaranteed, right? It's about 8 million per year. So it's a decent amount. It's not like breaking the bank, but for the production we got for the 2 years, at the time before the contract extension, his value, his current contract before he signed the extension was ranked 27th among off-ball linebackers. So you're telling me that we got someone who's cheap that is outperforming by, I'd say, a landslide. I mean, there's times, maybe not as much last year. He had a good year last year, but the first year, I remember tons of our podcasts were like, oh my gosh, TJ Edwards is everywhere. Like making plays after plays after plays, right? And the defense was overall better the year before. So for the production you're getting for the cheap amount of contract that he was on, he has to get an extension. And this goes back to your point, what I think it was point 2 with takeaway 2 with Kyler Gordon. You're saying like, hey, this shows the players, like this is what happens when you produce. That's exactly what it is. Came on a cheap deal, outperformed his contract, and Poles said, you know what? You deserve more money. Here it is. And I think that's a good precedent to set for these players so they can say, hey, I'm a rookie getting drafted. If I come in here and work my ass off and I ball out, I'm going to get paid, right? And so that's good to see. So overall, I'm happy with one. I'd probably go 8 just because I didn't realize how cheap his initial contract was. And so you're kind of just making up for the production, that you didn't have. But overall,
most people liked Edwards' contract over Edmonds at the time, and I think that's
Edmonds
still true today.
More expensive, and you're less. It's not like it's a bad deal.
But also, his
production versus
you
price.
Paid him, but you paid him on his. You didn't pay him on his stats. You paid on it was a projection with him. What his how big he was, his length, the ability. It was a projection, right? You're paying because the Bills let him go. Edwards, he was productive in Philly. Really, really good player. Thought it was a steal. It's just funny to see how those both have played out. But Edmonds, like I said, I think he needs a really good year this year to really make this feel like it was not an overpay. And maybe even then if he has it. But it's just been he's
been average. But we got paid like he was above average. That's
paid like a star.
Yeah,
paid like a star.
He's been average. Hasn't been bad. He's been good. Sometimes great. Sometimes bad.
Yes. Let's go ahead and we're gonna get to our mock drafts. I wanted to pull this up. I don't know. It was at 8,000, but we are one. I don't think people can see it.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. We are at 7,999 subscribers. If you can hit this,
hey,
please.
Wait a second. Even if it's a Lions fan, Domber, I know you've been here all the time. If you want to subscribe, we'll give you a shout out.
Help us out.
Even if it's a Lions fan, we'll take it. So.
But yeah, we are so close to 8,000. I'm sure we'll hit it. So when we do, we'll have a little, like I said, we'll tweet it out, and we have a huge giveaway as well that if you are subscribed, you will be automatically a part of. Let's go ahead and get to, if you want to pull up the screen, I'm going to share it here. PFF Simulator. We're going to do a couple of these before we get out of here for the evening. And then next week we'll have back-to-back pods on back-to-back days, Thursday, Friday, first round of the draft, and the second round will be live on the BFR YouTube page. So let me share this. We're going to do some mocks just for fun. and we'll go from there. So tell me when it. Oh, I'm making that
up.
one bigger. Let's make that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Does that look good?
Yeah, that's
okay. All right. So we're gonna be Chicago. We'll do round one again to start. We want to do the public first PF. What do we want to do here? Want to switch any of this?
No, I think that's fine. I'm not.
Keep it the same.
All
right.
I'm okay with the public. Yeah. Do we want to do
We'll
flow
do
to see if we want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do flow so we can
We'll
decide if we want to
slower.
trade up or whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna start the draft. We don't want to move up to Tennessee. Again, if you're watching this live on YouTube, comment. You can help us out. We're gonna make a couple trades here and have some fun. So Tennessee, I don't want to trade up to 1. Hell no. You cannot sub. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Cannot sub. He's just joking though. That's funny.
No, appreciate it. Might help the algorithm. I don't know. Okay. We're good.
Yep. Let's do
Nothing on Tennessee. Okay.
What? Okay. No.
We got to do it. This is a mock draft. You never know. Let's just see how this goes here.
Cam Ward has been basically solidified.
It's fine.
Okay.
Hey, wouldn't that be crazy though? Wouldn't it be crazy if he doesn't go?
I think that would be the biggest draft shock in NFL.
You think so?
I think so because there's never been a more like
Trubisky was crazy.
Yeah, but have you seen Cam Ward go anywhere else in any mock? I haven't.
I would love it, dude. Okay, so here we go. BFF. Are we moving anywhere? Are we moving up to 4? Not with how this has fell. This is weird.
It basically just switched the order.
I guess so, yeah. I don't want to move up to 4.
No, I don't either.
Oh.
Will, okay. Jeanty Brown.
The draft, man. Okay.
I mean, I've seen him go CB1 and some, but that high is crazy. Oh man.
Jeanty.
We probably should have.
There goes the dream.
I know we already traded up for Mason, but I would have loved to get him
moved up to him.
Who's on the board now?
We got to do one of these. We got to screenshot one of these that when we trade up to, if we really like it, because I think the last time we tweeted out, it got really, really good traction. You guys loved it, so we'll see what we can do here. I think we should have maybe traded up and see what that looked like. But
let's do one. Let's do this one without trade since we're already here. Let's just hit and see what gets to 10, and then we'll do another one with a trade.
Okay. T-Mac, Tyler Warren.
T-Mac went. I could see that. Warren's gone. Walter Nolan. I mean, that might be early for him, but he is. I'm not mad about that from a positional value. But Armand Membu is still there. Who else? Mike Green. I want to talk about Mike Green for a second because I had him. I did my own top 10 mock prediction, and I had us drafting Mike Green at 10. And there's a lot of talks, which we've talked about his on-field, off-field issues, right?
Yeah.
So I actually did more research to see kind of what, listening to the other draft analysts talk about it and things like that. So there was an investigation that was done on some allegations. You can look it up. And he actually did not get charged after the allegations and everything was dropped. So obviously I don't know any more information than anybody else. So I have to go off of the information that is presented to me. And in that case, I can't assume such is guilty, though he had two different instances where he was investigated for these allegations. So that is great. But when it comes from a legal standpoint, it seems like he's in the clear. And I think Dane Brugler, I was watching something, I think that dropped yesterday. He was saying that most teams are aware of it, have done their own investigation as always, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, again, I'm not saying the BFR pod is not saying that stuff is important. That's not, no. Those are definitely some harsh allegations, but we're going off of what, the legal system's already handled and the investigation by the cops and whatnot. I would actually love to take Mike Green because he had a great productive year. I know it was at Marshall, smaller school, but when he played against SEC schools, he still produced. He has a lot of his testing numbers were great. I think most people have the defensive end class going Abdul Carter his own tier, Mike Green his own tier, and then you kind of have the rest of the guys. So I would actually not hate taking Mike Green here if everything off the field is, you know what I mean?
Clears, yeah.
What's your thoughts? Because I need
I do.
information.
No, on Mike Green?
No, I'm saying this last week I had to do more information because I was kind of like, yo, stay away. Poles is probably going to stay away. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, if he was, he should be fine. If obviously what he's done, the only thing is to be just in Yeah, it's a little mucky as far as just the situation. It's never fun. It's similar to Jalen Carter, obviously different, but it's just you never like the off-field stuff. You just don't. So
yeah, my biggest concern, obviously, innocent until proven guilty, but when you have 2 instances, it's like, you know, I mean, like,
in
why are there
high school
and college? I'm like, there's a little bit of it where I'm like, you know, look, maybe you.
I think the Bears will stay away. I just don't think they'll
so
do it,
too,
especially with Ryan Poles with Jalen Carter.
From a talent standpoint, I agree.
Doesn't matter.
I think Poles will stay away. I think Poles will stay away. I'm saying if we weren't Poles, like another team, right? Sometimes they take risk on that.
Philly
like
would again, or
so I'm saying from a talent standpoint, I would love even? Mike Green at 10.
Yeah, let's do it though. But I like it. Mike Green, I would take him. I would. This isn't saying what Poles would do. This is what we would do. So I'll take the risk, especially if they, from what you're saying, and they have way more info. Let's be honest here. Investigators and everything. So let's see here. So we got a B+ on that one. Let's do it off. Let's do a little trade up that we can tweet out. That'll be fun. We'll keep it slow.
Go the slowest. Yeah, let's see.
We'll do slow, and then for the first time, and let's just see how this goes. Let's make sure Cam Ward goes.
Please.
1. Okay. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, that makes sense.
Abdul Carter.
Okay, that's different than the last one.
Will Campbell.
Wow. Whoa. I was gonna say, do you here's a hypothetical. In this case, would you have traded up?
No.
With New England?
Travis Hunter?
Travis.
No. I like Travis.
I wouldn't either, but I just wanted to pause it because this is the first time I've seen Travis go 4.
What about 5 with Jacksonville?
That's what we did a trade with last time for Mason.
Do you want to see if Jeanty doesn't go?
Oh, no, that would make sense. Ooh, trade up for Jeanty. Let's see what it costs.
Let's see. Okay.
Let's see what it costs. Because that actually would make sense. You have to get in front of Las Vegas.
To beat Las Vegas. And this would be good. I think sending this out would be fun. You guys are watching our minds work here. Let's see here. So 10 for 5. Obviously not accepted.
We're going to have to give.
Let's just see 39. That would be.
Wait a second. Let me see the. Was it going from 10 to 5, right?
What is that one? It's the coach. Jimmy Johnson scale?
Yeah. I'm going to see what would that cost from the scale.
Yeah. You can in the comments here, what do you guys think?
Yeah, you can keep testing. I'm just going to pull this up.
I don't want to give up 39. That will be. So if we give up 10 and 72, it's a 65% chance, according to PFF, to get accepted. I think that's not going to be enough, though, in real life. But you tell me what the chart says.
Yeah, so the value is pick 5 is 1,700 points. Oh, you know what, Dave? This is literally the same value because we did this already. I totally forgot. It's literally the same. We're just getting a different player. So basically, just for people who didn't watch our last episode, pick 5 value is 1,700 points. Pick 10 value is 1,300 points. So the difference is 400 points. 400? Yeah, so 400-point difference is a mid-second round because around pick 40 is 500 points. So literally 39 and 41 are actually too rich. That'd be favorable for the Raiders. But obviously you can't pick.
What if we did a round 2 next year where we expect to be mid?
Yeah.
And they have look at Jacksonville. They have a ton of picks this draft. So you think I think they would be comfortable. Okay, we'll take a second next year.
Let me see what the actual point value is of a future second. Yeah, so a future second is 500 to 550. So I mean, it's around the same.
You're paying a lot. Maybe you want to get like
get something back, maybe like a 6th.
So
maybe a 7th.
I don't even know where 142 and 126 at.
So I think 221 and 194 are both 7ths, and then 182 is a 6th.
Let's do 182.
Okay. Let's see if that works.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, let's see if that works. Oh, no. Ooh. They
What?
accepted. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, so we made it that
seconds
to
this year.
take Jeanty. Yep. To keep both your. This is going to be fun. I think the people are going to love this. So
yeah, that's a great one.
Draft Jeanty. Get this one on here. I think we'll call that one a day. We'll get
let's see. I want to see what the Raiders do. They end up taking Grant.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. They need interior, so.
I want to see who's at 10.
if you like that move right there, if you like that move, trading up with Jacksonville to beat Las Vegas from drafting Jeanty, hit that like button, subscribe. Also, I think we hit 8,000 subs.
Let's go.
So appreciate y'all. If you can, keep subscribing. Don't stop. But we appreciate y'all. Huge giveaway for you guys. Please. Check out the BFR Twitter as well. A lot of information is going to be there, especially with me, myself, or me, myself, and I. No, me, Jack, and Ficky will be tweeting that out as well. Let me speed this up, though.
Question in the chat. Grade the, let us know what you think of that trade. Would you make that trade up for what we gave? And what we gave was a future second, and what we got back was a sixth. No, sixth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm very curious to see
if you're going to trade up. I actually kind of like it a lot.
I'm very curious to see what people are going to think on socials here about this deal.
This is not the top of my list to trade up to get Jeanty, but if you're telling me we only have to get, I know a future second next year, we'll be pissed we don't have a second round pick. I know we will.
Yeah,
I know we will. But for this year, we're still keeping 3 second rounders. So even if it's not right, maybe this would be like, if you're thinking of like year to year, maybe you're happier. Even if you have to give up this year's second, you have 2 seconds, and then next year you still have your second. So either or, I'm actually okay with to get the guy you need to get. So
yeah.
Question for you, Dave. Which trade do you like better? Trading up for Mason Graham or trading up? I know Jeanty's more exciting, but would you rather trade up for Mason Graham or trade up for Jeanty?
Graham would just be a wrecker, dude. He would just be disgusting. Like we've talked about it. The more I learn about, obviously we're all grown, right? Learning the game of football. For me, even when Ben Johnson spoke about what an interior rusher that is talented and
it's hard to scheme against.
What it can do, it's hard to stop, especially if you don't have a really good interior offensive line, which we know very well what that looks like. So
what that does
for me, sure. I want Jeanty at 10. Wouldn't be as excited if we trade up. So I like this deal. It's fun, really exciting fireworks for me, and headlines, of course. But if you moved up and you got Mason Graham,
from an exciting standpoint, I kind of want us to go up to 5 because I think I still wouldn't know if we take Graham or Jeanty. Yeah. Like, I think that would, not necessarily that I want to give up trade value, but like if there's going to be a trade, I would love to see 10-5 because there's still going to be that excitement on our show live next week, next Thursday, to be like, who do we think they're fucking taking? So I love that. I think that's awesome. But let's do another one. Let's see. So we did a trade up. Let's see if we do a trade back, depending on how the board falls. If there's obviously someone we want at 10, we're going to take them. But
okay, let me change this out. Okay. Where is that tab at? Okay. Where do new mock draft. We'll do Chicago. We'll keep it slow for round 1. And you want to see if we can trade back, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Depending on how the board falls, but we could do a trade back scenario here.
Okay. Did I start? Oh, start. We'll aim for a trade back.
Bro, what is up with this? The Cam Ward not going.
Hey, it's fine. We'll keep it. He at least goes like,
yeah, it doesn't affect us. I just think it's funny. Tet going 4. It's pretty high. I do need weapons though. Ashton to 6. I know, so many possibilities. Mason to the Jets, man. If he fell at 7, I would trade up for that too.
7 is crazy. Oh,
yeah. Well, he said what his floor is 10.
Okay, we're at 10.
See if there's anyone. We've already done a Tyler Warren. Membu wouldn't be bad. But look, do you think? Let's look at our trade options. We have 5. We have a decent amount.
Yeah,
way more than we had last time.
Pick 13, Miami.
Okay. I love that. Everything else is going to be further back.
15. So we have 15 so Atlanta's interested. Miami's interested at 15. Pittsburgh at 21. Rams at 26. Commanders at 29.
Okay, not going into the 20s. 13
Miami
and 15,
or Atlanta.
13 and 15 are interesting. Go back to the draft board. I want to see the
Okay.
I want to see who's there. Yeah, so if we go to I think if someone's trading up, they're taking Tyler Warren. So really that leaves us our mom Membu still. Mike Green still. We can still get Mike Green. And
you want to go with pick 13? See if we can land green.
Yeah, let's do 13. Let's see how big of a deal.
Okay, 13 and 10. What would we want back here?
So 3 picks. It's probably going to be a third. It'd be my guess. We'd get a third back.
They don't have much this year. We can do 98.
98 is going to be a third rounder. Wait a second. 32, 64, 96. Yeah, that's a third round pick too. So it's an early third.
Are you sure?
32,
you're right.
64, and then 96.
Bro,
so right.
So why
No. Sorry, that's an early
fourth,
right?
Right?
That's an early fourth.
So we can do a fourth this year. Or let's see what their 48 looks like. That's a 29%. We can do a 98. So that would be fourth rounder and a third next year. Damn, that's not. We can get a lot back with this team.
Let's see. Let me see the value. What would it cost?
Round 3, early round 4.
Back from pick, was it pick 10 to 13?
Mm-hmm. There's 3. It's not much.
It isn't. It's probably gonna be like 300 points. Okay, so pick 10 is 1,300, which we talked about. Pick 13 is 1,150. So the difference is only 150 points. So 115 points is typically a late third round pick. So pick 77 is worth 205. So we don't want to do the 98 because that's definitely way too cheap. We have to get a late third. So maybe so you could do this. Actually, that's funny. You could do a fourth round pick with a possible late round pick close to that. Right? Or like you could do the fourth round this year, which was pick 98 and then a future third. That's probably going to equal a round. So we could do that. So question is, let's see. Yep. Let's hit it. Let's see what
it'll accept it. 86. I've done enough mocks. Okay. So
let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
Who they go? Oh, they went a mod. Okay. Might be able to get Tyler Warren still.
We'll see what. Wow. I would scream and take Tyler Warren. At pick 13, dude. I'll tell you what, he's not getting past Indy.
No, Indy's definitely taking a tight end.
I would take
if
Warren
he's there.
dude.
All right, let's do it.
In a heartbeat.
I like it. I kind of want to do what 15 will look like.
Yeah, let's see. Sorry.
No, you're good. Let's just get the rest of it. It's a good one.
So 15 went Malachi Starks.
Who was 14? 14?
Indy.
Oh, we could have went 15 and probably gotten Warren would have been gone.
I think they would have taken Warren.
We could have got a Green though, maybe.
Yeah.
I want to see if we can do
went 17.
Okay, let's see if we can do another trade back. Because I think a trade back's probably more possible.
Trade back. That was a trade back.
No, I want to do another one. See if we can go for 15. See if we can get like a 15 again. One more.
Oh, we could. It just all depends on falls.
Yeah, I want to see I want to see if we can get a better deal.
What was our grade?
And then we'll be good there. A.
8 or A. Okay, new mock. Let me slow it down. Enter.
Okay. Let's see if Cam Ward goes number 1. I love that. Love that. No, it's fine.
Cam Ward didn't.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Jeanty
to the
people
Jets.
are going. Warren. Now we're seeing. Okay. So trading down, we have 3 deals here. We have pick 13 again, 21 and 31. So we only have 15, which I think is accurate. I don't think Atlanta's going to want to trade up.
Look, this will be, we can end on this one, but let's do 21. We wouldn't do a 24 last time, but I want to see what we can do. So this actually might be a haul because this is basically minus the QB tax. The Justin Fields trade. Exactly.
We can just try a round 1.
Yeah, let's see. Cost.
It's 63% chance.
Okay, let me see what the actual.
It's going to cost a first. Oh, it's going to be a first.
Oh, for sure.
If not, I would take. If not, they're moving up probably for. This is Pittsburgh. It would be a quarterback, in my opinion.
What was it? 20 or 21? Sorry,
21.
Okay, whoops. To move from pick. Sorry, I got to look at it again. It's probably going to be like 500 points or something. Okay, so again, our pick is 1,300, so pick 10. Pick 21 is 800, so the difference is 500 points. So 500 points. No, is actually a mid-second.
No, I know it's not. Yeah, but quarterback. Pittsburgh's not moving up this much if it's not for a quarterback.
Oh, who's 20? Oh, it's 21. Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, never mind.
That's
They're
what I'm
going for my bad. I didn't even see the team.
Yeah.
I thought it was 20. Yeah, they're definitely going for Shador.
Yeah. So the trade's accepted.
Yeah.
And then
no question.
We would get a future first.
My bad. That was so easy.
Year.
I didn't even
I was wondering. I'm like, I don't care what the points are. I'm not. They want to get up there. It's the Justin Fields.
100%.
Essentially.
No question.
So now Walter Nolan, he's probably projected second round too a little bit. So that would be interesting. Josh Simmons.
Josh Simmons is probably the best tackle.
and Hampton. I think that would be interesting.
It would.
He's probably in there.
I see a lot of Kelvin Banks talk, which I'm not
even Colston Loveland.
That wouldn't be bad.
Banks, Kelvin Banks is honestly, if I'm going, moving this far back, I would go Kelvin.
No, but here's the thing. I just want to bring this up. Kelvin, though, Dane Brugler came out in his beast. He actually says he projects him at guard. So it's not bad. It's not bad because you're thinking about Tooney's replacement, right? He doesn't even have an extension yet. Are you taking a chance on the guy that they're projecting he's probably going to move to guard anyways?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad pick at all. There's a lot of good options here. I just want you to keep that in mind because I did not before this week. I thought he was expected to play tackle, and what I've seen now with Dane Brugler, and I think it was one other big offensive line guy who scouts. He was saying he also projected that he'll probably go to guard. So just want to keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, if I had to guess here, if I had to go, I would go. I'd probably go Omarion Hampton. Just I like the running back. I think he's great. I think the Bears need that. Colston Loveland would be another one for me. Kelvin Banks I wouldn't hate.
I would either the ones I would probably do. I'm going.
You just pick. You pick this one.
No, let's do it fun. Look, we talked about we want a dynamic running back. We got a first for next year. We can take the risk and go Omarion Hampton. I'm cool with that.
Might be drafting a little head, but I like it a lot. I love it. We'll speed it up. We'll get this done, and I want to see what this grade is. Actually, not that it means anything with PFF. B-. Yeah. Oh well.
We got a first though. I don't even care. 2 first-round picks next year. Okay.
I know. Anyways, y'all let us know in the comments what your favorite trades were on this one. I'd like to hear it. And let's get to our shout outs, Fig.
Yeah, actually, I don't actually see that many. I think there was, which is interesting because there's active chat today, but I did not see more. I think we got one here. So we got Kyler as always with Kyler here with wrong one. Here we go. With the hashtag OG Ashton Jeanty, hashtag Kyler Gordon, hashtag can the season start? Yes, please. Let's get to the draft first, but can this season get here soon enough? I'm definitely excited about that. Let me look through and see if we have any more hashtags. Throw them in the chat. Hey, hashtags, OGs, all that stuff. I may have missed them today, but sorry. Michael from across the pond, Hall of Fame Grizzly member here. Hashtag OG, appreciate it. It's probably late as fuck in Britain, so thanks for watching. Really do appreciate that, Michael. Get some sleep, please, because we've got a big week ahead of us. Then Mr. James here with the hashtag OG, bring back Sears Tower. Yeah, it's funny, right? Sears Tower's tweeting and Jack's not on the show. So, little interesting, I should say. But I think that is, I'm just kind of scrolling through here real quick. I think that is it.
All right.
But it was a good one. It was a great one. Thanks, everyone. We say cheers to Bears fan life here. Appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on. I think it's the first time we've seen you in the chat, so appreciate it. And to all the new people, though, you didn't give us, your shout out. We know you're out there. We really do appreciate it because we had 5+6 subscribers out there today alone. So thank y'all for helping us reach.
We will be back next week. Keep an eye out on our socials for these giveaways for draft week. Again, live Thursday in round 1, and then of course Friday as well in the evening for round 2. We appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.